Yeah.
And the reason why I want to stick on this a little bit, I know it's a little divergence, but we're talking about schooling, teachers, and definitely some racial stuff, some bullying in here, is, for those of you at home that listen to us, and there's quite a few people that listen to us, and rarely do we get really, really political on here. Obviously, where me and Spencer stand on many things. But the funny thing is a lot of y'all talking about you don't like DEI. Hey, man, I don't like certain shit about DEI. But you understand that everyone with autism, neurodivergence, mental health issues, ADHD, that falls under diversity, equity, inclusion. You understand that your children won't have...
fill out your applications. Like, look out when you fill out your applications. Does it say, do you have a disability? Do you have anything in there? And ADHD, autism, those are all things that are in those like
protected things.
Yeah. So
also, those of you that have children with special needs, those of you that have children with autism, these are more needs. If they have an IEP, you understand that that's protected under all this diversity, equity stuff. Disability is part of that. And so just for some of you that are listening, I'm not trying to sway you one way or another, just making sure that you understand the full consent of what's going on and understanding that your children will be impacted and many other children will be impacted by the certain things that are being moved through the education system. Because there'll be less funding for therapists that are neurodivergent affirming, or social workers, case workers, more teacher professionals, right? Not just the teachers. There'll be less funding for that because they're like, we're going to treat you all as neurotypicals. That kid can function who's banging his head against the wall. He's fine. Little Nas that was running around with a knife. Sorry, I was. You probably just kick him out of school because you don't have the teachers to support him, which would be a horrible thing because I'm highly intelligent. I was just an idiot. I had some other shit going on too.
Highly intelligent, but an idiot.
Well, he was what we would call psychopath junior. Psychopath light. He had some of the characteristics of a serial killer, not all of them. Supposedly, right? What did the doc say? I didn't wet the bed when I was a kid, so technically I'm okay.
Yeah. It's great. You're fine.
I'm fine. I made 2 out of the 3.
Nice.
Nice. I'm such a great boyfriend.
Jesus Christ.
I just wanted to put some knowledge on these things because, right, the schools are where a lot of kids are getting bullied. This scene is when he's getting bullied, then Miyagi steps up. Miyagi's the father figure, the mentor, right, the guiding light, the coach, whatever you want to call it. And we all have those in our lives, and if you don't, I'm very sorry. Me and Spencer talk about it all the time. Please try to seek out mentorship, please. For those of you that are neurodivergent, if you got parents that are listening or you're listening, try to find another therapist that is actually neurodivergent. Don't just go to a neurotypical therapist that doesn't know shit about neurodivergence. So I got goosebumps from this scene, right? Because it's emotional, this and that, the skeletons, I'm tweaking out. The fight scene was kind of cool, right? And then he's like, you just don't have to fight anymore. And I felt so good when he said that. I'm like, bro, I'm tired. I don't want to fight.
Yeah.
As you get older, you realize you're just sick of fighting, bro. You're just like, fuck it. I'm not even going to cuss this guy out today.
Not this time.
You start picking and choosing your battles, I think, as you get older, Spence. I don't know about you. I feel like
I think you should.
Yeah, I think you should. You should. Look at you educating me. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I called my boss a motherfucker the other day. That was fun.
I mean, there's probably not the good kind.
Bro, she was like, what'd you say to me? I was like, yeah, I called you motherfucker. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. That's good. As we get into this still, holding people, it's like, we're talking about our mentors.
Let's do it.
Right. We're talking about these coaches and things like that. And we also talk about not putting them on a pedestal and having just making sure that we don't have too high of standards for them, because at the end of the day, they are just people that are just trying to help young adults try to grow into being great adults. But we all make mistakes, we all do things that we regret, and at this point, and once again I'm harping on this, but it's like I feel like Daniel said, all the things, they have 3 movies together, right?
Yes.
3 movies together. I feel like you should learn from, like, if I went to somebody and I know what their faults are, and yet I'm still like, why didn't you tell me about this other fault? It's like, at this point, why don't you just understand that I'm a human being and that I wasn't perfect when we were together. And I understand how he looks up to him, not only as a mentor, but a father figure, because he didn't have a father.
Yep.
Right. That was in his life. But we've seen him when he was drunk and talking about his family and while he was in the war, you know, and all these different things. And even then, he wasn't judging him. Danielson was not judging him at all. He was just like, okay, this is what he went through. He had a Medal of Honor. He did all these great things as not only a veteran, but tried to be there for as a husband, as somebody at war as well, while he was a husband, and you know, and then lost his child and his wife at the same time. Like, he's not a perfect individual, and he's done things. But why don't I give him, even in death, why don't I give him
grace,
like some slack for being somebody who might have killed somebody at one point?
It was an accident.
He killed somebody. All right. He killed a lot of people in the war too.
Oh, he did. He got some of them. He got some
war,
of them.
but okay. But you know, and I think that we should all have a moment where we if we find out something about our mentors and coaches that's not hurting anybody else, that we should be, you know, we should give them a benefit of a doubt. But then also make sure we know that they're human beings, and that if they do something that we are not okay with, that, you know, that we can challenge that. You know, we should also challenge that as well, because if you see something that's not okay that your mentor or leader is doing, then you should call them out on that, because it's fucked up. They shouldn't be doing it. So
I agree with you, Spence. So to break it down a little bit more, is for those of you that got teachers or professors that you look up to, understand that they are really intelligent folks, but they could also have issues at home. They could have issues at concentration. Maybe they smoking cigarettes. Maybe they hitting the devil's lettuce, you know. The people like have shit. Maybe they've been divorced. Maybe they got tattoos or piercings. I had a client once that said, you know, I don't trust no one with tattoos because they're thugs. And I pull up my sleeve. I'm like, thugging ain't easy, bitch. We hold people to such high standards. My clients even hold me to high standards, Spence. You know that. They be like, nah, you're the best and you're such a good guy and a big old teddy bear. I'm like, I'm like quite terrible. I'm like quite the biggest asshole you'll ever meet. And I try to make sure that people understand that I'm also very fallible in my emotions and mood. I pop off sometimes. I have panic attacks sometimes. I ain't got my shit together. I can show you executive dysfunction issues with a million different things in the house, but you mostly see good stuff. And so I think it's good to show as a provider, a mentor, some of the messed up sides. Don't always show perfection. That way they have a good, accurate lens on how to see the world. By the way, I never trust anyone that looks perfect in anything. I automatically will never trust you. I'm like, you ain't got nothing wrong, motherfucker. You ain't got nothing in your teeth. Nothing.
Perfect.
Something.
Perfectly
so
white, straight teeth.
What Spencer said, co-sign it. Don't need to put the pressure on them. Also, I don't want you to like hate them if they do something wrong, or let's say I misspeak sometimes. I may say the wrong thing. Maybe it's insensitive to this and that. And then, you know, hold me accountable. I apologize, take accountability, and I modify my behavior. Like, but we do mess up. And that's not a reason to write people off. But if they are continuously messing up and hurting people, then it's time to write them off.
Yeah.
So understand, mentors got shit too. And you kind of want them to, because that's how a lot of us learn, is through our mistakes. I tell people, you only get wisdom through trauma. You can be smart as shit and like lived experiences, but you get that old man wisdom, like you sitting down in that rocking chair, just dropping knowledge and shit while you smoking your doobie/cigar. Well, let me tell you, goddamn it, let me tell you now, no.
Here comes the old slave coming back. Thought we were done with him, but nope.
No,
he's back.
I'll bring him back.
He always come back.
He always
no
come back.
matter
He
what.
like Mr. Miyagi.
Even when he tries to run away, he always comes back.
God, sir. I got you. I'm not gonna say the last word. I got you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just remember, keep that in mind. I've got a few people I looked up to, and I saw a few things. I was like, interesting. But sometimes the things I see is nice because I see my flawed, sinful ass in them.
Mhm.
I remember one of my mentors, he's like, yeah, Nas, you know, I was a drug addict most of my life. I'm like, I fuck with you. Let's do it. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got
Shoot
you.
up right now.
Yeah,
Do it.
let's do it. You want some? A student in my office. I said, what you need is some drugs. She's like, oh, never. I just open up the cabinet drawer in my office. She's like,
Oregano?
calm down, kid. I don't have fucking drugs in my office.
It's good.
I know. It's good. It's really good. Great mentor. I love that people think that I'm this magnificent person. I'm just like, just you see.
Just wait.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was magnificent talk. I enjoyed it. You know, it was good for me. I got mine.
I'm glad you. And I'm spent. Do we want to kind of touch on like what would the people who we lost?
Hey, thanks for watching this video. Check out the full episode on our channel and anywhere you find podcasts. Also, remember to like and subscribe. Whoop whoop.